Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is July 17th, 2025, and Javier Tebas is back at it as he has once again criticized Barcelona's finances. Also, Ter Stegen's agent denying an agreement with any other club. And finally, the alternatives that Barcelona are considering to trigger Nico Williams' release clause. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and we'll begin this video with the news that La Liga's president Javier Tebas has once again hit back at Barcelona in regards to their finances. Because of course, if Javier Tebas is not discussing Barcelona's finances, his name is not Javier Tebas. Now this time, Javier Tebas talked about Barcelona's signing of Joan Garcia and of course the possible signing of Nico Williams, and this is what La Liga's president had to say. One thing is to make Joan Garcia's signing official, another is registering him. They have to make some moves and some decisions on players. I hear so much, I don't even know if what they're writing is true. Of course, talking about the press, that he doesn't know, if the news about Barcelona signing Joan Garcia is true or not. Barcelona are not currently under the 1-to-1 rule. They have to do some things to be able to register him. Not many things, but still some things, and they know what they are. I can't tell you. The window isn't even open yet, but we'll see soon. I don't know if they have the money to pay Nico Williams' release clause. First and foremost, they need to make sure they have space to register him. They still haven't met the requirements to make signings. They are still not under the 1-to-1 rule. If they want Nico, they have to sell and make some major adjustments to their books. So Javier Tebas, of course, saying that, one thing is to sign Garcia, another thing is to register him, and then about Nico Williams, again, saying, I don't know if they have money to pay it, but it's all about registering him, which, of course, will be a challenge for Barcelona, registering these two players. But, of course, that's why Barcelona are working on offloading players. Lenglet was the most recent one where they terminated his contract. They're working on the transfer of Ansu Fati. Then there is the case of Ter Stegen. All these exits will help, hopefully, Barcelona register these two players. And then, of course, there is the money that Barcelona has made off sale of players like Alex Valle, like the sale of Todibo, and then more ones, which I'll talk about in the next video. Now, of course, speaking of Joan Garcia, the former Espanyol goalkeeper is officially back in the city of Barcelona. He is back from vacation. This was an image taken by Gigantes, by Gerard Romero's Gigantes, as he was coming out of the airport. Of course, he was asked about the whole Barcelona thing. He didn't say anything. He just said that he had fun on his vacation, that he's happy to be back home. But as you know, as I informed you in yesterday's podcast, the owner of Espanyol, the company that owns Espanyol, has confirmed that Barcelona has indeed paid the 25 million euro release clause. And of course, Barcelona had already reached an agreement with the player for his transfer. So Joan Garcia is now a Barcelona player. But of course, this will not be made official until the player gives the green light, because Barcelona want to respect the player's wishes. Joan Garcia first wants to say goodbye to his team. After all, Espanyol is his boyhood club. Once he has done that, once he has made his own announcement, then Barcelona will make it official that they have signed him. And now that Joan Garcia is back in the city of Barcelona from vacation, then who knows, maybe we'll hear an official announcement this week, maybe next week. But as you know, Joan Garcia is a Barcelona player, just pending official announcement. Now, speaking of Joan Garcia, of course, we cannot not speak about Ter Stegen, because, ladies and gentlemen, Ter Stegen's agent has denied any rumors that the player has agreed to go anywhere else, and instead has stated that Ter Stegen has a contract with FC Barcelona. His plan is to finish his vacation, come back to Barcelona, train during the preseason, and then, of course, earn a spot on the first team. And this comes after that news that I told you about a few days ago. There were reports in Turkey stating that Ter Stegen had reached an agreement with Galatasaray. Moments later, a different reporter in Turkey said that that wasn't true. And of course, I said that my hunch was that that news was unlikely, that there's no way Ter Stegen agreed to join Galatasaray, because first, he's refusing to leave, and even if he does agree to leave, I feel like it's not going to be the Galatasaray, probably somewhere else in Europe. But nonetheless, Ter Stegen's agent confirming my hunch that the goalkeeper has not reached an agreement with anyone. His goal is to remain in Barcelona. Now, it's reported that once Ter Stegen comes back from vacation, Deco and Flick are set to meet with him to let him know, hey, look, we signed Joan Garcia. The plan is for him to be number one, so you're not going to be getting any minutes. And hopefully, with this meeting, they hope that Ter Stegen will eventually understand and be like, okay, fine, I need to play the World Cup. Let me go search for minutes somewhere else. Now, speaking of Ter Stegen and how the club are treating him, Victor Font, the candidate that ran against Joan Laporta in the last election, and the candidate who is, or the person who is expected to run against Joan Laporta again during the upcoming elections next year, has said the following in regards to the German goalkeeper. Barca don't know how to treat their captains, their legends, well. It's absolutely reprehensible that Ter Stegen hasn't spoken to anyone at the club. That he has to find out about everything from leaks in the press, and that there is this kind of bullying of a player who has been with us for so many years. So Victor Font saying that, Ter Stegen is being bullied, that there's no way why he should be hearing about him getting pushed out from the press. And I agree 100%. I think I made this point several times here on the channel. I said, if Ter Stegen's time is up, that's fine. If you want to bring Joan Garcia in his place, that's fine. That's the nature, or that's the cycle of football. You get older, someone else replaces you. But this is not the way to do it. Right? Barcelona should have sat with the player, should have talked to the player before doing this. There's no reason why Ter Stegen should be finding out from the press that he is getting pushed out, and this is not the first time Barcelona do this. Xavi Hernandez, one of the greatest legends in the history of our club, had to find out from the press that Barcelona were going to fire him as a coach. This is not the way to treat your legends. This is not the way you treat your senior players. In the case of Ter Stegen, even a captain of the first team. All right, let's move on to the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona are studying two different alternatives to trigger the release clause of Nico Williams. Now, as I reported in yesterday's podcast, Nico Williams has now become the #1 priority for Barcelona for the signing to reinforce the left wing during this summer transfer market after Nico Williams instructed his agent to go and talk to Deco and let them know, hey, Nico only wants to join Barcelona and Barcelona only, and he is willing to accept whatever terms and salary you offer him. So after that move, Laporta decided that Nico Williams will become Barcelona's priority. So now Barcelona are studying ways of how to trigger the 58 million euro release clause that Nico Williams currently has. Now Barcelona has two options. The first one is to try to negotiate with Athletic Club de Bilbao an installment plan where Barcelona pay the 58 million euros in different payments over a period of time, plus 4 million euros of inflation, so it will be 62 million euros. But again, in installments, this option is not highly likely because Athletic Club de Bilbao have been insisting, if you want him, you pay his release clause, you pay it all at once, you pay it cash, no installments, no negotiations, nothing. Now, Barcelona still want to try to approach Athletic Club de Bilbao and see what they say. In case their hunch is confirmed that Athletic Club de Bilbao is saying no, then the other option would be to try to get a loan. Now, Barcelona had already contemplated this option last summer, but now, of course, Barcelona could get a loan with more favorable terms because, as I explained in yesterday's podcast, Barcelona's credit rating has improved. So we'll see which one of these options Barcelona end up taking, but Barcelona are already studying options to how to trigger the release clause of Nico Williams because it looks like this signing is closer than ever. Now, Athletic Club de Bilbao are trying to renew the contract of Nico Williams or extend it in order to increase the release clause. They're even offering him to become the highest paid player on their squad, and it's reported that Athletic Club de Bilbao will be pressuring the player for an answer in the upcoming few days, kind of like, let us know, are you staying, are you not? So most likely Nico Williams will be saying, no thank you, I'm going to Barcelona. So we'll be hearing from this, I'm pretty sure, in the next few days. Now, of course, since Nico Williams has decided that he only wants to go to Barcelona and Barcelona only, it's reported that both Chelsea and Arsenal have already withdrawn from the pursuit of the player. As you know, those two Premier League clubs were heavily interested in the player. Now, we will end today's video with the news, or by discussing a different left winger. This time is Cardoso Barela, the 16-year-old left winger who Barcelona have been heavily linked with. He's considered one of the most promising players to come out of Portugal. And while the news is that he has extended his contract with his current club, Dinamo Zagreb, until 2028, there was an option in his contract for Dinamo Zagreb to do that. They have triggered that option, and now he has extended it by 1 more year. But this does not mean that Barcelona are not interested in the player. As you might recall from previous videos, I talked about the possibility of Barcelona signing the player this summer and for him to stay at Dinamo Zagreb for 1 more season. Well, it seems like that still is the plan. Barcelona have reached an agreement with the player, his agent, Andy Barra, who's the same agent as Dani Olmo, and with Dinamo Zagreb for Barcelona to sign the player next summer by paying 5 million euros fixed plus 20 million euros in variables, because this way the player can continue to develop. He is only 16 years old, and this upcoming season he is set to play on the first team of Dinamo Zagreb. So he'll be playing first division football in Croatia. Plus, Dinamo Zagreb already qualified to the Europa League, so he'll be playing also the Europa League. And that for the player is going to be a lot better development if he comes to Barcelona this summer and plays with Barca Athletic, who, as you know, have been relegated. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. We'll be uploading another video shortly, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.